It's the end of the month, which means it's time for another monthly money reset. We're going to break down my June budget, see where my money actually went. But real quick, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sandra. I'm a 26-year-old occupational therapist living in Denver, Colorado, and I am on a mission to pay off my six-figure student loan debt, budget intentionally, and build a life that I love without sacrificing joy. I try to be super transparent with my income and spending. I think it's helpful to see what my spending looks like in order to build this lifestyle that you guys see in other videos. I am also paying off a mountain of debt and trying to invest a mountain of money. So I think that seeing the monthly progress is helpful to see what like realistic progress towards these goals looks like. So let's get into June and see what trouble I got into. Starting with my income. This month I made a total of $4,152.87 after taxes. My full-time job, which is 40 hours a week as an occupational therapist, brought in $3,952.87 after taxes, which is a little bit shy of the $4,000 that I budget for every single month, but it's only a $47 difference, so not that big of a deal. I also had a contribution of $200 from my work as a benefit from my work hit my student loan balance, which I include as part of my income because I also include it as part of my debt tracking, so it just makes the numbers look nice and pretty. It also is money that benefits me. I had no other side income this month, which I'm okay with for June because it was a pretty full work month otherwise. My biggest financial focus right now is my debt. I am working to pay off a total of $127,000 of student loan debt that I took out to pay for graduate school. This month I put a total of $2,062.38 towards my student loan. It includes my regular payments across my 5 loans, which is now 4 loans because one of them is paid off, and then I put an extra $1,046.17 towards my student loan 5, which is always the goal. It feels like a win every time I put extra money to that loan. I also received a $200 work contribution to my loans, which contributed to that $1,000 that I put towards that loan. My strategy with my debt is to keep paying the minimums on every single loan and then throw a crap ton of money to my highest interest rate loan to pay it off, and it is definitely working. So I am wrapping up June with a total student loan balance of $86,408, which is very exciting. We are nearing being out of the 80,000s. I see 3 months there, maybe 4. Now for the real tea. Spending. I carried over $106 from last month in my variable spending category, and then I assigned another $200 per month, as is my protocol, to be spent variably, however I want. This is my guilt-free spending money. I can spend it as I wish. But this month I technically spent a total of $799, which is a negative difference of $492.27. Let me explain myself. First of all, $117 was from electrolytes that are actually a shared expense, but our subscription is on my credit card because we were trying to hit a spend bonus on that credit card a while ago. We use Element electrolytes. If you have been thinking about trying Element and want an affiliate link to it, you can get a free sample pack down below. This is not sponsored, but I do share my affiliate links whenever they're relevant, and this is one of those situations. You can get that free sample pack with your order, and I'll get a free box of electrolytes, so thanks. I also, with this money, have a lot of outstanding returns. I'm waiting to have a bunch of it in hand before I make those returns because I want the right size and I want everything to fit great. But most of my spending did come from personal expenses, which includes when we were in Arizona, we went on a bit of a shopping spree, but I got a couple pairs of jeans that I really love and a few tops at American Eagle that I also really love. So I'm working to build back a wardrobe that I love that is not made of clothing from high school. So a little bit of spending in this category makes me very happy. I got an athletic dress from Amazon that I've worn a gazillion times, as well as some hair clips that I needed for work because I lost my clip and I'm trying not to pull my hair back with rubber bands to protect my hair. I'll link them down below. If you're in healthcare, they have like double layers. They actually hold my hair. I don't touch my hair at all throughout the day, which is great because I work in a hospital and I don't want to be touching this. And then I bought Wi-Fi on the plane so that I could work a little bit on the plane. Honestly, I lock in so hard when I'm on airplanes, so that was so totally worth the spending. So this is part of why I really like this budget template, because I have variability in spending. I usually don't spend $200 a month, and usually a lot of my spending is on like dining with friends where I'll spend $5 or $10 on a meal or happy hour. But because I spent less money in the past months, I had extra money to go to this month where my spending was a little bit higher, and I'm really happy with all the spending I did. I usually don't spend on clothes, but all of these have really improved. Like, I don't just wear leggings every day. I'm currently wearing my new jeans. Wait. Look at these. They're so cute. Are they so cute? Tell me they're cute. I feel confident and happy in my clothing, and that like really contributes to my quality of life. But yeah, that ability to account for variability. When I spend less money, that money just rolls over in that category. It's not given a new job unless I want it to be given a new job, and that allows me to spend on these things without even touching my sinking funds, which is really nice. For fixed expenses, I spent exactly what I was assigned, which is what usually happens because it's in the name, they're fixed. So $900 for my shared expenses, $45 for my phone, and $62.50 for car insurance. Right on track. Let's talk savings and investing. I invested $585 into my Roth IRA. This is a little over my expected amount because $583 over 12 months doesn't quite get me to the $7,000 max. So when I feel like it, I just toss an extra couple dollars to that goal. Really, it's not that complicated. Right now, my Roth IRA has $4,885.70 invested. On the savings side, I save towards my sinking funds. So I put $220 to different buckets. This includes $15 towards my annual credit card fees, $34 for a ski pass, $100 for travel, and $21 towards gifts. I have a fully funded emergency fund at $10,000. Once I pay off my loans, I will focus on growing this emergency fund a little bit more, but right now I think $10,000 is enough security that if something were to happen, I have a few months of expenses covered, and it's also enough to cover my max out of pocket for my health insurance. So the total in my savings right now is $12,025.53, which feels amazing. My sinking funds are awesome because it allows me to save for things that I find fun or that I need to spend money on, like car maintenance, and know that I have security that I don't have to use any debt to cover those expenses. So looking at my total cash flow for the month, knowing that I have a few outstanding returns that are going to roll over into the next month, my total income was $4,152.87. Total debt payments were $2,062.38. I invested $585. I spent $799 minus a little bit. I saved $220, and I spent $1,007.50 on fixed expenses. So technically I overspent a little bit this month. Not ideal, but also not the end of the world, especially because I do carry a buffer in my checking account, so I'm able to just account for any overspending in one month with less spending in the next month. And while it's not ideal, I really don't feel bad about it. I did not go into any credit card debt in order to make the spending happen. I really only spent like $80 more than I had, and I did have $87 of buffer in my account. So technically I did not spend more than I made this month. And this is why we reset and reflect every month, so we can go into the next month with goals and objectives. So here's how I'm planning for July. I will obviously be reining in my variable spending. I'm not really planning on spending on anything in July, and I definitely won't put myself in positions to spend money. And then I also really want to keep the extra loan payments going, of course. I should be able to hit that $1,000 a month of extra payments, so that extra money will help. Overall, June was generally a mixed month. Like I said, I feel good about it. I made major debt progress, and I hit every single goal that I had for the month target-wise. But I spent a little more in lifestyle categories, and that is very normal for me, especially as summer rolls in. I'm going to spend more in the summer than I do in the winter, and that's just kind of how things go. I again share this transparency to share what my spending looks like in alignment with my lifestyle, and also share, like, I'm not here to say you can't ever spend money. I had things that I wanted, and I knew how much money I had to spend on them, and I spent it. I budget intentionally in order for this to all work. This is all just part of the journey. Now, looking ahead, because we're over halfway through the year, I want to hit some goals for the rest of the year. So I made some goals for the rest of the year. First, I want to hit a student loan balance of $75,000 or less by the end of the year. This number is a realistically achievable milestone. I should be able to get there with just my extra payments, assuming nothing else comes up. But for me, it's a milestone because it means that my student loan debt is less than what I make in 1 year time. At least my gross income anyways. I also would love to hit a total of $15,000 invested between my Roth IRA and my 401k. I have about $6,000 left on this goal, and that should be very achievable. Honestly, I should probably aim for higher, but I need to be sure that I can hit one of these goals by the end of the year. And I would love to have 1 month of $500 plus income from socials between my social medias and my budget template. I've been posting more, trying to create better content. I'm hoping that'll lead to some income growth. So thank you for being here to support. If watching this helped you with your budget, let me know, and make sure to like and subscribe, of course. And let me know how June went for you and what your current goals are and how you're doing. I'd love to celebrate with you. As always, I'll see you in the next one. And until then, keeping intentional with your money. Thanks for watching.